Alright, in this video we're going to look at the integral of 1 divided by x cubed times the square root of x squared minus 1. And this can be solved using a trig substitution. And since the expression here is x squared minus 1, that tells us we're going to be using x equals secant theta as the thing we're going to substitute. Okay, and if x equals secant theta, then dx is equal to secant theta tangent theta d theta. And so we just plug all this into the integral. And for dx we get secant theta tan theta d theta on top. And then on the bottom, x cubed becomes secant cubed theta. And this is times x squared secant squared theta, then minus 1. Right, there's a lot we can cancel out here. So this secant theta on the top cancels out with one of these guys on the bottom, so that just becomes secant square. And secant square theta minus 1, that just becomes tan square theta. But then that's the square root of the square of tan theta, so that just becomes tan theta. But then we have tan theta on the top and tan theta on the bottom, so those just cancel out. So this whole thing becomes 1 over secant squared theta d theta, but 1 over secant squared is the same thing as cosine squared theta d theta. And this is just equal to cosine theta sine theta over 2 plus theta over 2 plus c. And we'd be done, except we need to get this back in terms of x. And so x equals secant theta, then cosine theta equals 1 over x. Use that to build our triangle. Alright, so that's theta. So if cosine is equal to 1 over theta, then that side's 1. Hypotenuse is x. And that means this has to be x squared minus 1. Our solution then becomes 1/2 times 1 over x, because that's cosine, times the square root of x squared minus 1 over x, because that's sine of theta, if you look at the triangle. And then for the next bit of theta over 2, we have to look at the x equals secant theta, which is our original substitution. And if x equals secant theta, then theta is equal to secant inverse of x. Secant inverse of x over 2 plus c. And then lastly, just clean this up a tiny bit. X squared minus 1 over 2x squared plus 1/2 secant inverse x plus c. And that's our final answer.